Hi guys, welcome back to Rods for Days. In this episode we are continuing our series of videos where we're blacking out the Sport Glide. The last episode we replaced the heat shields. In this episode we are actually removing the stock primary case and replacing it with a black one. There's a few bits and pieces that we have to do to get access to the primary cover, and it's going to look really cool. The bike's starting to get a bit blacker, and I'm going to be really happy with it, I think, when it's done. All right, let's roll the intro and let's head down to the bike. Look at this. All right guys, down to the bike, and would you take a look at this? For anybody who thinks that in Australia the sun always shines, it is absolutely pissing down today. So no sunny Australia today. But you can't have it good all the time, I guess. So here's a little progress shot of the bike. In the last video that you would have seen, we changed the heat shields. Today's job, we are changing the primary cover, and we are changing it to a black one. I'll take you over in a little second and I'll show you all the stuff that you're going to need for this job. It's going to involve removing the left-hand floorboard so we can get access to the primary cover. Then we're going to run the the drain underneath, dump the oil out of the primary cover, remove the clutch inspection cover or the derby cover, and then we're going to remove the primary cover, change it over, pop it back on, floorboard back on, drain plug back in, and refill the fluids, and we'll be good to go. All right, let's take a little look at the stuff that we're going to need for this job. All right guys, so this is all the stuff that you are going to need to change over a primary case on a Sport Glide. If there's anything that I've forgotten to put in this little pile here, and if I'm adding it as I go along, I'll let you know. First up is a Harley-Davidson oil drain pan. This is particularly good because it's nice and shallow, and then you can pour all the oil in, and then you can seal it all up, and then you can dispose of it, and it looks nice, so that's pretty cool. So Harley-Davidson oil drain pan. And then when you take the primary cover off the chrome one as well, you can sort of just lay it down on top while all the oil continues to piss out, because it's kind of nice and wide and it supports the top part of it. So that's pretty cool. Heavy duty primary chain case oil. Bought these yesterday at Port City Harley-Davidson in Port Macquarie. The jury's out as to whether or not you need primary chain case oil. Some people say that you can just use the same oil in all three holes. I've seen guys on YouTube just running 2050 synthetic in all three. And then I've spoken to other Harley people, including Harley techs, who don't necessarily own a Harley-Davidson business and aren't in it financially, but just say that you're better off to use separate oils and separate holes. So for me, I'm using primary oil, but you, of course, if you want to, you can use 2050 synthetic in all three. I'm sure it's not going to be that bad. Primary case, nice and black, following the theme. You are definitely going to want to replace the gasket when you remove the primary case. Last thing you want to have is a leak. Primary case itself is around about $450, and the gasket I think was around about 60 or 70. I'll pop it up on the screen there, what that cost me. Little handy dandy funnel for when you're reintroducing fluid into the primary case. It just slots inside the derby cover, and just makes it easy to get the oil in there. There's a little O-ring. You're going to need to replace the O-ring on the nut, on the bolt that comes out below the primary case when you dump the oil out. Inspect the bolt when it comes out. Get rid of the O-ring that's on it and replace it. What is it? It's a couple of dollars for an O-ring, or a 50-cent O-ring or something. Definitely replace that. As always, refer to your owner's manual when you're fiddling with your bike. So this is the owner's manual for my 2019 Sport Glide. and I will definitely be consulting that on the way through. Gives you all the correct torque specs, etc. for your bike, so you definitely should have your service manual and refer to it as you're going through. So first things first, to get access to the primary case, we're going to get rid of this floorboard, so let's do that. Well, slight change of plan. These bolts underneath have been an absolute bitch to get off. So I'm running with the hope that by removing the floorboard, the footboard part itself, I can actually access these bolts. So I think I've got enough clearance, I should be right, but I'll just double check that. But if I don't have to take this off, I'm not going to. There's nothing in behind it that I need to remove. It's just I've got to get these out. There's clearance past there, and then I can get this cover off, and there's clearance there to the bolt, so should be good. All right, that is the derby cover off. Just having a bit of difficulty getting at this bolt over here, this one, because of the rear passenger peg. So I'm going to get rid of the passenger peg for now. There we are, guys. And that, we'll just leave that rest for a second there. So that is the primary case off the bike, and this is what it all looks like underneath. So this is the old gasket, and you're definitely going to want to replace that. And as you've seen, I did get a replacement gasket. Yeah, so this is the primary chain case, or primary chain, and the cover is off. Looks pretty cool, eh? All right, let's get into putting the black one on. As you can see, guys, in the middle of the case, there's this little support thing. I don't know the name of it, but you can back it out of there, and then there's a place for it to be screwed into here in the new cover. So I'm going to go ahead, unscrew it out of the old one, and put it into the new one. Righty, guys, so when you're putting the gasket on, it's not going to want to stay, most likely. So a good little pro tip, which I also got from YouTube, how good's the internet, is a little bit of electrical tape just to hold it on there. Although some models call for it, but actually this mount has little supports there which actually hold the gasket in place, so that's pretty cool. But I'll just run one here just for good measure. I'll run a couple just to hold it in place. You can always pull it out afterwards. Just getting them on finger tight to start with, just to get some support happening for me so I can let go of this. Looking pretty awesome already, guys. Hope you can see. I hope I'm not blocking. It's a bit hard doing everything a bit one-handed. Well, that should be good. That shouldn't go anywhere. Alright, so we got all the bolts on there now. I've been very careful. I didn't want to strip any of the bolts. I was a bit worried about that. But now we're going to, the next step is we're going to clean up this drain plug, give it a clean, any bits of debris and stuff like that off the magnet, get rid of this O-ring, replace it with a new one, pop it in, and then let's get some oil back into this primary. Alright, so we're all cleaned up the magnet. Sometimes that magnet can get a bit of debris and like metal shavings and things like that. So I've just cleaned it right up, new O-ring, and again we got a 3/8 inch drive and a 5/8 inch socket. Let's get this bad boy back in again. And for your reference, guys, this is what I'm using. I bought it at Harley Davidson Port Macquarie heavy duty primary chain case oil, formulated especially for Harley primary chain cases and Sportster transmissions. Okay, cool. You can just see, I don't know if you can actually really see it, it's quite hard to see, but the oil is just sitting at the bottom of the plate there, which seems to be what they want. So let's get the derby cover on. And these all go back on in a star pattern, which is actually diagrammed in the owner's manual. So I'm just going to get them all on, so I don't have to hold on to this derby cover, and then I will tighten them up. I will torque them up as per the settings in the manual. Alright guys, and there we have it. Primary and derby cover all done. It's a beauty. Alright, all I've got to do now is just get the floorboard on, and that will be a job done. Alright guys, that's the end of it there. That wasn't too bad, it was reasonably simple, but a bit fiddly at times. But we now have the new heat shields, and now we got the new black primary cover. Cool. Alright guys, see you in the next one. Cheers.